Hello?
Okay.
Oh, yay, it's working. I was so worried it wasn't going to work. Welcome back to Star Sports Betting People. Today, I am joined by Nick Schofield. Nick, it's lovely to see you again. How are you doing?
Brilliant. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Quiet time of year for jump racing, but still plenty of racing. So yeah, no, it's keeping busy enough, so can't complain.
Oh, good. And are you watching like the flat racing now, or do you kind of give yourself a bit of break from that?
No, I actually quite enjoy the flat racing. I probably yeah, I follow it quite a lot. I've got a few friends that ride, and yeah, no, I quite find the pedigrees and the way the race is planned. Yeah, no, I enjoy watching it, and yeah, no, I wouldn't miss a race really. Certainly not the big races.
Yeah. Well, actually, because like in all my normal videos, I start from the beginning, but actually, whilst we're talking, um, about you having some like time off, what do you usually do then in this time of year when it's quiet?
So yes, I've been riding out of it in the mornings. Yesterday I was in Christian Williams's racing. Yeah, so still sort of, it's just a bit quieter than what it is like in the winter. So it's not quite so full on. Like you're still going racing, but only for like 1, 2 rides, and probably only like 3, 4 times a week, give or take. It gives you a chance to catch up on things, do all the stuff you don't like normally doing, and yeah, but no, I'd like to say something exciting, but quite boring, really.
That's all right. I suppose it gives you like a bit of downtime as well then. And so then like as you lead up to the season, do you have to get in the gym and then get physically prepared?
Yeah, I go sort of at the moment once a week to the gym. At the moment, probably step that up sort of the next few months, leading into the winter, but still riding, still getting sort of 1, 2, 3 rides a day. So that keeps your eye in, and that's good really, and still riding out. So you don't lose too much fitness, but you don't want to run your body into the ground. So it's good to give it a rest now and again, and yeah, just try not to eat too much in that off time.
Do you have a personal trainer at all?
Yeah, I do have one. He's called Sam. He's a bit of a friend, and I probably need one. A lot of lads don't need one, but I sort of need a bit of a kick out the backside because I can do it, and probably don't push myself like I can in the gym. But if it's on a horse, I'm fine. But like in the gym, I do need someone to like make sure I'm up, cracking the whip, as it were.
And does the personal trainer, does he specialize in jockeys or is he just a general personal trainer?
So there's two what I call main gyms. You got the Superior Sullivan House in Newmarket, and you've got the one in Oaksey House in Lambourne. From where my home's in Somerset, so there's like a little way to drive just to go to the gym. So I have a personal one that's close to home. But if ever I'm up that way, the Oaksey House or Superior Sullivan, they specifically do the riding stuff. They put you on an exerciser or like do specific things for your riding, and I do that every now and again. But just because it's if I was close to there, I'd go there all the time. But just because I'm not close, I have a personal one. But he sort of knows what I want and what I need, and I sort of tell him what I want to do, and he sort of does it. And but I think if you're overall fit as a jockey, if you can keep that sort of fitness all over, no specific thing. You don't want to do too many weights. You don't want to do too much cardio. So it's like if you just do a bit of everything to keep that general fitness, the racing will sort of sharpen it up from there.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want your muscles to get bigger or expand, would you? Because then that's more weight. Because muscle is heavier than fat, right?
Yeah, so they say, but you don't want to be fat either. But
No, you don't need them.
I certainly wouldn't. I don't think I'll ever make Love Island. I'm not big and strong like you wouldn't want to be a bodybuilder, but you have to be lean, and you just have to be like fit without having two extremes, because you sort of got to have aerobic and anaerobic for a jockey. So there's no specific thing. It's sort of a unique fitness, I would say.
Do you have protein shakes?
Yeah, that's sort of new the last few years. The nutritionists are pushing us for that. I never used to touch them because I had in my head they put on weight, but I have been using them and I quite enjoy them. So, and they fill you up. So yeah, I do, but just not to like a massive extent.
So, okay, I'm going to start with then how you got into racing. So when we previously spoke, you told me that your father was a point-to-point jockey. So can you just tell us a little bit about how your career began and growing up?
Yeah, did a lot of. I was quite fortunate. I did a lot of riding when I was very young. My mum was into sort of show horses, and my dad was a point-to-point jockey. So you could say I was bred into it. And I rode for different people as I was growing up. I competed at Horse of the Year show and competed abroad, show jumping, and did a lot, as it were. And so when I was 15, 16, I had the bug for racing. Used to watch all like all the young people did, but pony racing hadn't materialized really as strong then, so I never had that to do. So I just had my eyes on being a jockey, and my mum obviously wanted me to get my A levels, blah blah blah, and I think I copped out at 16, and I had a few point-to-point rides, and yeah, so and then sort of as I got going, I took a job with Paul Nicholls. So I sort of left school at 16, went there, and just as a lad really to start off with, but as an amateur, and yeah, sort of my first season, my first few rides wasn't great. I think I fell off quite a few times, and then I sort of got lucky and got on a horse called Sea Snipe, went on to win about 8 races on her, and then Paul Nicholls and Richard Barber started using me, and I sort of took off from there, and sort of did point to point in for a season, champion novice, and then was champion amateur, all down to Paul Nicholls and Richard Barber really, and it just sort of went from 16-year-old kid that didn't know what was going on to riding in races every day. So and yeah, I'm still doing it now. So
Do you remember what your first day was like at Paul Nichols's?
I was like, I was a boy from Devon, like fancying the outside world, and like a bit cocky probably, and yeah, had me mucking out and doing all the horrible jobs. And actually, Harry Skelton was there at the time, Ian Popham, Alistair Ralph, George Scott. There was a great team, Liam Hurd, Paddy Merrigan. There was people that you're still with now, and there was a lot of us, what I call young budding jockeys, and you know, working and playing at the same time. But I was definitely like a kid with headlights, like all this, this into the big world, and sort of had to find my feet.
It's good that you had people to grow with, so that if you didn't know what to do, you could ask each other or something. But I suppose on your first date, are you told what to do, or do you just get thrown into mucking out and then just find your own way and follow the others?
Yeah, I think I definitely got thrown in, but not everyone. Like you got the racing school, and you get people like it's the last sort of 10 years. I do think it's more advanced, and they're bringing the racing is caught up with the 20th century a little bit, because gone are the old days, the old school days where you just get chucked on a horse and say go at the gallop. And I think health and safety have come into it a bit more than what it was. So but it's I certainly was, I definitely was a boy in a man's world at that stage. I didn't really know what was going on.
I thought it's really nice to look back and see how far you've come as well from when you first started till now.
Some would disagree, but yeah, I sort of can survive a bit better now. I couldn't cook when I first went, and I was living on my with housemates, and like the whole thing, just like living away from home and having to fend for yourself. I sort of had to sharpen up quite really.
What did you eat like when you were growing up? Because I'm kind of picturing if you were young, you were still kind of studenty. Was it student meals, or were you taught then about healthy eating and nutrition?
No, I was a McDonald's, Burger King, any takeaway, just because I didn't know about it then. And I think when I left school, like I hadn't, like the racing school hadn't really developed like it is now for jockeys, and we didn't have that. Well, not that we didn't have that help, but I wasn't quite a jockey then, so I sort of just found my feet, and the easiest thing was to get takeaways, I think. And I soon learned my weight was creeping up, but that you couldn't do that, and you couldn't drink alcohol and go out and be into work at 5 o'clock the next morning. So I sort of had to like work it out for myself. But I do think now, like that's gone are those days. I'm not even that old, but like I'm 32 now, but it's certainly since I've started the game's what I call grown into so much more professional.
What was your favourite takeaway?
Oh, I like them all. I love a Chinese, but if it was just on the services, be a McDonald's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you heard that they've taken away chicken selects?
Oh no way! I usually have 6 chicken nuggets, cheeseburger, and yeah.
But anyway, that's McDonald's story for you. So I remember you saying before that Hunt Ball was your most enjoyable ride. Would you say, is that still your favourite ride? And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Humble was my first Cheltenham Festival winner. He was favourite, and obviously he had a big story. It was the rags to riches. He come from nothing. He was a cheap horse that didn't win a point to point, and went from a mark from 80 to like 140, some 150. So he rose in the weights, kept winning, and his owner was a farmer and just kept betting him and earned lots of money. And it all built up to Cheltenham Festival. And I hadn't had a winner there previous to him, and he was a red hot favourite, very much talked about. So when it come off and he duly delivered, it was and I think the crowd got behind him because he was such a good story leading into the race. And when it comes off, it's not like your Willie Mullins, Paul Nicholls. It's Kieran Burke, who only had about probably like 8 or 9 horses at the time, and his owner only owned 1 horse, and it was like the fairy tale sort of stuff. So when it all come off, it was massive for me, and big relief because although you want those pressures and you enjoy it, there is a lot of pressure, and a lot of people are relying on you to make the right decisions. And I remember the owner, Anthony Knott, saying as I went out, just don't get brought down, you'll win. It's all very well and said, but there's 24 other runners and charging down to the first fence, and it's harder than it sounds.
How do you personally deal with pressure?
Pressure is a hard one. You want that pressure, but I think pressure only comes with getting on those better horses. So it's as much as you make it. I try not to listen too much. You just got to treat it as a race and look what's in front of you, and not try and look at the whole big picture. It's you got to jump those obstacles. You got to get in front of that horse or that horse, and you got to just simplify it really, and not try and ride the horse, not the occasion.
Do the prices from the bookmakers make you like more nervous, or does that kind of give you more confidence to do better?
I think it's good to keep an eye on it. I certainly would, because it's good to know what the money's coming from, or you can give you a bit of clue into what you're up against, or what the market's thinking. But I don't think you can sort of have that in as fully as you've still got to ride your horse to the best of your ability, or the best of that horse's ability. And but I think it's certainly good to keep an eye on it. It wouldn't probably sway me how I ride the horse either way, but it might just flag up a danger in the race, the one that you might not have previously thought had a chance. Money's come for it, so there must be something we don't know that they know. So more so the others more than yourself.
What's your favourite meeting of the year?
I think it has to be Cheltenham. Yeah, the festival is our Olympics, it's our everything, and it's great 4 or 5 days, whatever it's going to be. But it's so hard there, but it is the pinnacle really, and that's what everyone gears up, and that's what everyone aspires to have winners at. Do
you think they should have a 5th day?
If it's good for the sport, then yes, but you wouldn't want to dilute it at the same time. I'm to be honest, I'm on the fence on it, because if it's going to bring racing money, if it's going to bring more money into the sport, then I think that would be good. But what you don't want to do is dilute something that's as good as it is. And what makes it so special is how competitive it is, and if it dilutes the sport, then it wouldn't be so good. But I don't know enough about it, if I'm honest, so I don't really want to comment.